Welcome to Arabia. Welcome to Mr. Yo taking on Villese in an infantry showcase. I certainly hope. We have Mr. Yo playing here in the red as the Goths in the southern part of the map, and in the north we have Villese in the blue playing as the Japanese, bringing in his rhinoceros immediately. Wonder why. I've never seen that before. Bringing in the rhino immediately is Villese. Mr. Yo doing a little bit more standard, but in comes his rhino. I guess it's not quite immediately. We did miss a bit of time here as Capture Age starting up, just misses just a few seconds of the game. Just the house is being built, though. That's all. You can see Villese doing his scouting very effectively with his sheep and goats versus on the other side Mr. Yo spending, I would say, a bit more time, and that's the score difference, a bit more time eating those sheep. But no, there are still, he has 5 remaining over here, and over here Villese does indeed have, oh, that's trees, 7 remaining. So yeah, that was pretty much instant rhinoceros. And we have, for Mr. Yo, or sorry, for Villese, he's pushing in an ostrich. He's bringing in another rhino. So, just the idea here, I guess, is to get all that hunt in and that faster food source as quickly as possible to get up to the feudal age at a very good time. So I'm expecting, with these builds, I'm honestly expecting a drush out of both players here. Or even, maybe not a drush, but men-at-arms, something with the barracks. A barracks opening out of both players. You got 3 on wood for Mr. Yo and 3 as well for Villese. So maybe it's not a barracks opening. You normally want 4 on wood for your barracks openings, but they're both kind of mirroring each other, pushing in the ostrich, bringing in the rhinos. Very aggressive. Barracks coming down before the mill for Villese. On the other side, Mr. Yo has not yet added that. Is going to be able to soon. We'll see if that's what he goes for. Situations looking fairly similar for both players. 16 villagers, 0 seconds of idle TC time. Sorry, 16 population. That's 15 villagers. Neither player has loom or anything like that. Both playing this, as you would expect, neither player has scouted the opponent just yet, but Villese doing so right now. He may run into the TC. You can see the range circle for the TC on your screens as Villese comes in close, but no, not going to run into it. But he hasn't seen anything yet. Now he's going to see the scout. What does he see? Has not seen anything particular yet, I don't think, to let him know that this is where his opponent is. Just missing. He's circling the town center like he knows, but I don't think now he knows. All right, he's spotted the gold. He knows he's spotted the house now. And on the other side, Mr. Yo heading up, running directly into that barracks. Feudal Age coming in at the exact same second for both people. Incredible. Now we have a 1 villager difference. And that 1 villager difference is because Loom is in. For wait a second. Why is there a 1 bill difference? Loom. Oh, Goths. Yes, Goths get loom instantly. So both players have loom. And but you get the 1 villager little bonus there from Goths because it takes 0 seconds to get loom as the Goths, and it takes a full 20 seconds as everybody else. Scout tracking the drush. It's going to be 2 militia. Nope, 3. That will turn into men-at-arms. There are villagers on gold, villagers on food remaining. So definitely going to be going into men-at-arms. And on the other side, our Goth player going to be making the defensive men-at-arms play. But this is just kind of a delayed drush into men-at-arms. That woodline completely exposed. These villagers are going to have to fight back. Well, men-at-arms coming in for our blue player, for Villese. For Mr. Yo, he's still creating these militia 3 militia out, and is it going to be men-at-arms or not? I think he's going to need the men-at-arms. 15 seconds in these blue soldiers. The Japanese men-at-arms. They're pushed away, but boom, Japanese men-at-arms going to be shredding the red militia. You can see that advantage has gotten substantial. Scout got to run away. Ooh, nicely done. Walls coming in to the town center for this wood line, trying to keep it secure. And nicely done. And an archer range drop down on the other side. We have an archer range for Villese as well. Villese has played this well. He's invested a little bit more heavily, but it hasn't cost him really any more archer production time. He's just a little down on the food. So we'll see what that leads to, if that leads to anything. But there are these men-at-arms keeping the pressure on Mr. Yo. Mr. Yo is forced to defend, and now has a mistake by Villese, loses his scalp, and now the archers are out. No fletching for either player just yet. Blacksmith not yet being added for either player. No blacksmith on the field. Second archery range, though, for Mr. Yo, so he's going to be committing pretty heavily into the archers. Villese, I don't know. Will he be able to keep that commitment or not? I kind of think he will be the one getting pressured here in a bit. The 2 archers now, as well as the men-at-arms, forward for Villese on Mr. Yo. Mr. Yo having to add in some skirmishers now as our as Goths. Because he needs to push this away immediately. These men-at-arms are getting in on the villagers, and that can be a problem. No commitment there. Wants to keep his units alive, does Villese, and these men-at-arms on 41 HP. 3 men-at-arms down to 41 HP. And now the army is here. This is plenty to push everything Villese has away, and I think Villese doing the irritation and then running home. Does have the blacksmith, will get fletching, and is walling up his base slowly and steadily. Trying to be annoying. Villese keeping these archers here, keeping the pressure forward. Fletching coming in for Mr. Yo actually first, who has also added the blacksmith. No production of military for Mr. Yo at the moment, though. The KD's 2-4 in favor of Villese at this point. That can easily and quickly change. Fletching now coming in for Villese, so you can't really take any sort of fight for the next 30 seconds. And in fact, he's just got to run. There are skirmishers involved as well. The archer numbers do favor. He's taking the hill, taking the fight from the hill. The archer numbers favor Villese here, but the skirmishers are involved as well. A lot of micro necessary, very intensive games. These players, high level, high class players, top of the game. Players. 7 archers for Villese, 5 archers, 6 archers now, and 3 skirmishers for Mr. Yo. So Mr. Yo does have the military advantage. Some skirmishers being added by Villese. So both players adding the skirmishers. And the ecos, pretty similar. 16 on food, 5 on gold versus 16 on food and 4 on gold. 12 on wood versus the 10. Very similar ecos. We do have Yo with 49 seconds of idle TC time, giving Villese a 1 villager lead, even though Yo should have the 1 villager lead being Goths. A fight being taken, and you can see the KD evening out 8-8. Now 10-8 in favor of Yo, our Goth player. Now the skirmisher numbers heavily in Villese's favor, giving him the advantage. Do we have a stable or any sort of crazy investment like that from either player? No, we do not. Market coming down for Villese, which will allow him, I think, to even maybe potentially win the race to Castle Age. How do we expect this game to progress? That's really the question. And I think we're going to see crossbows maybe added for both players, but our Goth player, I think, man, I don't know. You don't really ever want to go into an infantry battle against the Japanese, even as Goths. You try to go Huskarls, the samurai will eat you. Samurai will eat everything infantry. I think it's going to be a bit of an archer battle. Villese heavy on the skirmishers, though. Mr. Yo, slipping around, gonna be getting in there. Interesting. House walls, quick walls added to keep those archers at bay, to keep everything protected as the skirmishers try to track them down. These archers could find a Vil kill, but Villese sells the stone. He's on the way to the castle age. Love the play. I think that's the way to do it. Sell the stone, get to castle age. You can recoup that stone later. But in these games, that castle age click is so key. And you see market just now being added by Yo with 5 villagers. A little bit of a mistiming there. KD 14 to 11 in favor of Yo. Holding on to that KD lead. Holding on to what he's got. And we see the cavalry switch coming in for our Japanese player. Stable 1. Where's stable 2? Oh, it's just the armor. Okay. So he's going to be going into some knights to try to get an early advantage. Heavy food investment for Villese. Food and wood on it. Heavy on food and wood. And both bases are opening. Cavalry coming out for both. These players are mirroring each other so well. But yo, a minute of idle TC time, giving Villese 2 villager deficit, actually, because of the timing, but a couple of villagers ahead in reality. Neither player has a wheelbarrow. Both players have their feudal upgrades. Now a villager killed. 1 villager killed for Mr. Yo. Bloodlines coming in. We can see bloodlines, cavalry stable. Knights on the way out now for Villese. And 1 knight will beat the entire military of Mr. Yo. Spearman coming out for our Goth player. Just going ahead and going to add those right on in. Knight's going to come out and clean this up. KD 20 to 21. Very even. These players just kind of mirroring each other, matching each other. The knight going to make a pretty substantial difference here. Weirdly, that was an odd house to delete, it feels like, but okay. Villese on stone, trying to recoup that. Probably going to add town centers. We'll see if it's anything more aggressive than that. The knight's coming in. You can see the monastery already on the way down for both players. Incredible. They both have such good game awareness. This is Arabia. This is a map they've played 1,000 times before. The knights splitting up. 2 knights of Yo finding the knight of Villese. A couple of spearmen and a knight here. A couple knights taking care of the military of Villese on this side. So Villese kind of being pushed back. 2 knights, 2 knights in the middle here. Weird. Yeah, just kind of fights here and there. Mr. Yo able to get that town center down more quickly since he did not spend the extra resources. Villese going heavier into the military, adding a 2nd stable, which is something that he will be matching Mr. Yo in. So Mr. Yo able to get the military production a little bit cleaner. Both players getting husbandry together. The monk is out for Villese, pushing away Mr. Yo's cavalry. However, we do have a monk on the other side healing up the knights. These guys don't lose knights. It's incredible. Whenever there's a knight about to die... Oh, this is going to be a conversion. Yep. Whenever there's a knight about to die, they take it home, heal him back up. Crossbows now coming in, so we're going to see Villese kind of going heavier into crossbows at the moment. It's going to be another knight conversion, right? No. Wow. Timing on that. Would have expected that. Ooh, there's knights in on the wood line. This is bad. Villese, there was a hole somewhere, someplace, somehow. Don't know where these knights came from. I guess they could have just come from anywhere. That's going to be a villager down. walls being added for Villese, and that really takes his attention and his focus. He's sniping off the spearman. I don't know if he got the monk or not. I think no, there's 3 monks out there. Did not get the monk. Second town center now being added. There's idle villagers, and the monks forced to go backwards instead of forwards. Third town center being added by Mr. Yo, who does have a 3 villager lead, and he'll be able to maintain that pretty effectively. Oh, this is awkward. Everything's out of position here. The crossbows and the monk are gonna go down without a conversion. The knights swoop in, but they need to run away. Indeed, they do. But the crossbow's taking out monks before they die. 2 monks down. The third one gonna survive. Still, a conversion does come in for Mr. Yo. Mr. Yo, I think, has taken a little bit of control of this game with 67 population versus 59, and that's a nice place to be. However, he's getting his knights picked off in the base of Villese. That one conversion did not come in. The monk died. The monk was expected to die, but I would have thought the conversion would come in. So now, Yo has the advantage. And so far, with all the infantry buffs, all the push towards infantry, we're seeing 2 of the most infantry-focused civs going into knights and monks and crossbows. And big fight on the front where Villese will lose his entire military. Pikemen having to be added for our Japanese player. Barracks is being dropped. Third town center coming in, and this is going to be awkward. These knights are running straight to it. Quick walls being added, and they will be sufficient. And in time. Couple of knights trying to push away the 3 knights, unable to do so, but bring them back under the town center fire. Under the town center fire, these 2 knights will be sufficient. But having to back up again, not doing so. Both knights gonna go down for Villese. Villese up to 74 population versus the 78 of Yo. So Yo probably was not looking at the right places. I apologize for that. Has apparently taken his foot off the gas as far as military, indeed, and is just focusing on villagers, but he's only 3 villagers ahead at the moment. What happened to that? 6 minutes of idle TC time? Mr. Yo, were you taking a smoke break in the middle of the game? My goodness. Not what you wanted to see. And Villese has tied the population up, and indeed, he has 3 fewer villagers and a couple more military. Sanctity coming in, bringing some hit points onto Villese's monks. Villese, 4 town centers now versus the 3. Mr. Yo. So Villese restabilizing the position. There was no way to get a really good push in. Lots of monks out, getting 1 conversion in. And then light cav. It's a great play by Mr. Yo, bringing the light cav into the front, trying to get the monks to waste the conversion. Yes, 1 monk dies, 1 monk wasted the conversion. But there are pikemen involved for Villese, which really are just putting this away. Knights are trading sides, though, for Villese. He's losing a lot of knights here. And the light cav are just such a nice addition to really make things awkward and snipe off monks. These knights always coming in with full hit points. Another monk goes down. The light cav dip in, kill the monk, and get away alive. More barracks, more pikemen going to be added. We have not seen... Ooh, we see supplies. So we are going to see an infantry play from Villese. Mr. Yo has yet to really play into the crossbows. Mr. Yo never played into the crossbows. He did make 2 archer ranges, but since he doesn't have crossbow tech, that sort of allows Villese to go heavier into the pikemen. We're going to see gambesons. No, we're not. Doesn't make sense. It's pierce armor. And we're not seeing any reason to add pierce armor. So Villese giving us what we hoped for. The Japanese infantry play coming in. It's going to be pike longswords. Taking the fight just outside the range of the town center. Unfortunate for Villese. He's trying to take it under the TC and just missed it. Now he's back in under the TC, taking the big fight. Siege Workshop forward for Yo. He feels like he can put his foot on the gas. The populations are essentially even, though, so I don't know that that's really the case. These farms need to be deleted, or else they'll be picked off. And yes, indeed, Mr. Villese takes care of that. Need some more military back here. These villagers back here gonna be dying. Has quick walls, and no, man, what am I talking about? I'm talking like it's me playing, and as it turns out, these are professionals. These are the best players in the world. They make their living here, and the longsword switch catching Mr. Yo off guard. He's coming in with pikemen and running into longswords and getting pushed away. Yes, he made the siege workshop, but Villese gonna be adding a castle in the perfect position and able to push that away. That was beautifully done. The longswords were not expected. So as Mr. Yo went into heavier and heavier into pikemen, what he found was longswords waiting on him. That KD still basically dead even for the players. Villager counts 96 to 95. Overall population, Villese leads by 10. But now there's a castle in the front, and this siege workshop did not pay off. The longsword switch, I think, paid off, but now the question is, where are you heading now? What unit do you get? As Japanese. Now, longswords shred buildings. So cool to see this. Gonna be a potential conversion. Yep, probably gonna... no. And I think we're seeing that we don't really have an answer. Villese, not really sure what he's going for, but he is going to imp very soon. Lots of fighting. Villagers going to be dying. Units trading sides. Second castle being added in the middle. Villese castle creeping across the map. Now on the way to imp. Only about 30 seconds behind Mr. Yo, but Mr. Yo does not have a castle. So the trebuchet is going to be added probably first, and with 2 castles. Villagers, though, going down for Villese. The villager numbers even. The military out here actually did swing in favor of Mr. Yo with all the conversions, and this castle abandoned for the time being, but I think the units will be right back for it. Lots of pikemen coming out, but now the longswords are in favor of our Goth player, who hasn't made any just yet. It's going to switch into men-at-arms. We are seeing infantry versus infantry. Look at that. Barracks is being added. And I'm afraid that the wide open play here of Villese could get punished by longswords being everywhere. Monks just unimaginable. Like, you've got the number of monks these guys are consistently using is pretty incredible. Just seeing a dozen monks every game. I know the last couple uploads have featured a lot of monks, but it's just every game. These guys are featuring monks. And we're seeing barracks versus barracks plays. And longswords trading sides. Men-at-arms trading sides. Goth men-at-arms turning into Japanese men-at-arms. Japanese longswords turning into Goth longswords. Back and forth and back and forth. Now, wheelbarrow just being brought in by Yo. Gambesons being added, armor being added for these longswords, and Imperial Age is in. We're seeing 2 trebuchets being created by 1 castle, and a trebuchet out of each of our Japanese castles. So I like our Japanese player's position more. He also has these production buildings forward versus way off on the right flank here for Mr. Yo. The other side, Mr. Yo, though, bringing in his second relic. Military's 17 to 17. Dead, even in the military. And a little bit of a calm before the storm. Chemistry coming in for Mr. Yo. Canned cannoneers gonna be added here, and that's gonna be a big swing. Seeing 2-handed swordsmen, but I do think we'll see chemistry. 2-handed swordsmen in for both players. The Goths can create so fast. The Japanese units attack so fast. Bombard cannon's gonna be added for our Goth player. Hand cannoneer is going to be added. And indeed, hand cannoneers now being added. Gambesons is a tech that Villese can get that Mr. Yo cannot. Can this castle stay up? This castle for Villese looks like it's holding on. The castle for Mr. Yo does not seem to be. And just that faster tread production, 2 castles versus just the 1. We're not seeing Huskarls going to be able to be produced. And that could be, that's probably good. Huskarls aren't really the unit of choice, but it's nice to just deny that option. And you're able to just deny options. And hand cannoneers on the field. Hand cannoneers, a big difference maker in these fights. And so are the monks. There's 5 monks remaining. And we're seeing a big fight. I don't know what we're seeing. We've got villagers in play, but Villese seems to have the advantage. By what I'm seeing here, Villese absolutely has the advantage. Able to push back. The trebuchets are down, and the long swords, 2-handed swordsmen, sorry, are pushing straight into the base. Mr. Yo adding more monk techs. Mr. Villese adding Bodkin Arrow, probably for the castles, and Champion gonna be in soon. These hand cannoneer numbers cannot get out of hand, or else things will get dicey. Looks like some flanking gonna be happening, but Villese already outposts, outposting up the map, building universities, building outposts, adding in. It's gonna be Arblisters. Yes, it is. He's denied. See, he's denied. No, it's gonna be Elite Skirms. Okay. Incredible play. He's denied even the possibility of Huskarls, and then he can go into ranged units because the possibility of Huskarls is temporarily at least denied. Castle resources are in for Yo, and yeah, that's going to be a castle added right there. But it's 138 villagers versus 136, but the difference 45 to 15 military. Villese putting his foot on the gas and continuing on right up the middle. He's going to add a castle of his own on the face of Mr. Yo. And just this castle creep, 3 in a row. Not sure I love this one. I could have been even more aggressive. Nah, this one's better. This is better. Over here wouldn't have actually done as much as right here. And allowed him to push right into the center. 3 relics there. Those are going to go away before too long. And now we're seeing full champion and elite skirm production. We have champions clearing up this little flank attempt for Yo. Yo not going to be able to call the flank, and GG called. What a game we got to witness with Villese using the military. And look at that, both most created units for both players, champions and 2-handed swordsmen. You absolutely love to see it. Military stats, dead even KD throughout that entire game. 148 kills versus 148 kills. Mr. Yo 20 to 16 in favor on the conversions, but the big difference, that army high. 51 military high for Villese, only 30 for Mr. Yo. And there it is. The difference, that's 6 minutes of idle TC time. 52,000 versus 47. Not big difference, but 6,000 more resources. Well, 5,000 turned into a bit more units. 20 more units there for the peak. The timings, fairly similar throughout. 1 second apart for feudal. 20 or 30 to 40 seconds apart. 30 seconds apart. Very similar play. Society stats, Mr. Yo maxed at 140 villagers, Villese at 138, but it was just a slight lead consistently for Villese. And APM 65 for Mr. Yo and 70 for Villese. I hope you enjoyed this game. I know I did. If you did, drop a like. If you want to see some more, consider subscribing. If not, we'll catch you in the next one. See ya.